G'day and welcome to Wine Week. I'm Danny.
And I'm Brad.
And this week I'm going to kick off with a personal favourite. Now this is a wine that we've probably done the last three vintages of, which probably marks the first wine that we've done the last three vintages of, and that's the Pewsey Vale Eden Valley Riesling. Now look, the reason why I love this so much, A, it's a Riesling, B, it's a bargain, C, it's always a cracker. Look, you know, when it comes down to it, good value Rieslings in Australia are pretty easy to come by, but Pewsey Vale has got to be right at the very top of those. Beautiful kind of subtle notes, lime zest, green apple, that kind of sherbety, talcumy sort of flavours as you start to age it through. Nice and minerally, quite steely, matches up so well with Asian foods and fish dishes. It is an absolute cracker, and at the mid to low teens, it is just such good value that year after year I go back to it. The Pewsey Vale, brilliant.
Yeah, and look, it's probably one of the wines that I have on my shopping list almost every single week. Maybe not drink a bottle every week, but just about. It is that good.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Now, we're moving from one bargain to another, and this is a relatively new arrival on the scene. This is the Tar and Roses Heathcote Shiraz. Now, this is the 2007 vintage that we've got here. The 06 was pretty good, but look, the 07's come out, and it's a cracker. Now, these guys have only been around a few years. It's a winemaking team that they've been around together for quite some time. They've gone and set up their own thing here. And this effort here is fantastic, especially at the price. We picked up this bottle for $15. Now, this is a Heathcote Shiraz for $15 that would probably match it with a number of the Heathcote Shiraz that are double that at around $30. They've got really good quality grapes here. It's actually amazing the complexity they've got in such a young wine, which is a good sign of things to come. It's not a sort of blockbuster Shiraz. It's not in the style of the Barossa Shiraz and other things that we've looked at, but it is really good in terms of its depth of flavour. So the Tar and Roses Heathcote Shiraz, if you're looking for something new, something to try, get your hands on this because they'll sell out pretty quickly, I reckon. It
sounds like it. Now, looking at another Shiraz from a much more well-established company, this is the Oliver's Teranga HJ Shiraz. Now, when I say a much more established company, they've only been making wine since 2000 themselves, but this is a sixth-generation family of grape growers, and Karina over there is the first to strike out on her own and start pulling some of those grapes that they've held on to for generation after generation and then given away to other winemakers like Penfolds for the Grange, and she's making her own wine with it. We've talked about some of the Oliver's Teranga before, raved about them. The HJ is their pinnacle at the moment, and when you're talking about kind of mid-40s, that's bargain territory. Now, one of the great wine scribes in Australia thinks that the 05 HJ reminds him amazingly of the 99 Grange. Now, that's a wine that we're talking about, $500 odd. This sub 50, absolute bargain territory, will sell up unbelievably well, but is very approachable now. Beautiful tannins, beautiful big fruit. A classic Aussie Shiraz that you deserve to have in your cellar or in your mouth. So hook into that one. Yeah, and look, when you can get 10 bottles of this for one bottle of Grange, might be worth thinking about. It certainly would. Anyhow, that's it for this week. We hope that you get into these and that we see you all again next week.
See you next week.